Coach Daly got 6 minutes against Illinois. What have you seen about his progress?
Well, he was making progress. I think I said this, before, and then he hurt his back. So I didn't play him. I was planning on playing him, and he was basically unfit for duty for about 3 games. Couldn't go. Now he's back healthy, and I put him out there. So I trust him. I think he's a talented player. He's got length. He's figuring it out. He hasn't had as much playing time as some of those younger guys. So you can only imagine how that might affect his confidence. But I think he has come in and performed well. He hasn't come in and been a big mistake maker. He hasn't broken down, and he hasn't been soft. He's competed physically. He's typically scores a bucket when we put him in there. I think he's a good shooter. He missed a jumper the other night, but I would tell him to shoot that 10 times out of 10 and hope that he has the confidence to do so.
Put him
Fran,
ahead of Isaiah Moss in the Illinois game. Was there a reason behind that, I guess, or
just giving him a shot? Yeah.
On Monday, you talked about the slow starts and the offense not clicking last week. Then you came out and kind of struggled again against Illinois. Are you going to make any changes to your lineup?
I think it's possible. We'll see how it ends today. But I think you got to understand, I think we can over-focus on that kind of stuff, because the reality is we have had some inconsistencies that have to be addressed. Sometimes they're at the start, sometimes they're at the end. The Maryland game, we're up 2 with 3 minutes to go. I'm more focusing on what did we do in those 3 minutes than I was about the start of the game. Well, if you didn't have a bad start, then you would have been up 7. Well, the game has different ebbs and flows. Teams go on runs, lineups click. We had a unique lineup on the floor that night. I mean, who saw that coming? Nobody, right? But that lineup played great together, and I was so proud of those guys, and the crowd was into it, and here we are, down a bunch, up 2. Actually, we're up 3. So I don't really dwell on that. I don't think we should. But we're just trying to develop consistency for 40 minutes, which hasn't happened a lot. And it's not uncommon for a young group. We have really fought hard, and I've been really proud of those guys at times.
How difficult is that for you? Because you've had veteran teams the last 3-4 years to now that the consistency isn't there what they had. How difficult is it from a patient's perspective?
Well, I think it is difficult, and I have to be careful with myself. Remember I said the other night after the game, I got to evaluate myself. Am I being patient enough? Am I being fair because of my impatience? The thing about this group is they want it bad. They're working at it to be really good at it. So as a coach, that's all you can ever expect. I mean, they're giving me everything they got. And all we can do is keep working to try to help them get where they need to get to. And that's what we're as a staff, we're grinding. And they need to see us grinding because they know we're trying to help them. And then at the same time, as you pointed out, patience is going to be necessary. And occasionally, I've lost my patience because they're not getting something that I thought they should get. Well, I thought the other night in particular, I was much more patient maybe than I was the previous game or 2. The thing, I go back to the Northwestern game, that's going to help make you lose your patience more. Why? Because we were terrible at times, but it's still 25-22. It's still 51-42. But right there, so that's going to be disappointing if we come apart at that point in time. Sometimes you just got to go through it.
I guess, how do you differentiate what's youth and then what's just bad mistakes all in all?
That's the hardest thing because, when you see coaches lose their patience, sometimes it's, okay, we're beyond youth now. That you should know that. I'm expecting you to know that. I try not to be unrealistic with my expectation for any particular player or team. I always say, I tell kids this when I recruit them, I'm never gonna ask you to do more than you're capable of doing. That is unfair. So if let's say we're messing up on ball screen defense, I'll say to Cordell, I don't expect you to be at the right place at the top of the key and then also guard the guy on the block. And how foolish is that? Like, you're trying to do both. You can't, okay? You gotta, okay, what's the main? Make the main thing the main thing. That's what Sherman Dillard always says. You get up and let's guard the ball screen. If the guy rolls, that's somebody else's responsibility until we can get our rotation straightened out. But if you don't come up on the ball screen to start with and you're late to the party, well, that's a different story, okay? You know you have to be up, okay? It's those kinds of things that you're constantly balancing as a coach, because ultimately you want a sense of fairness. So if I make a substitution, or if I make a change in the starting lineup, you want a sense of fairness. I gave him a fair chance. I'm gonna try this guy now. And then try to communicate, well, it's not that I don't like you anymore, it's, we're gonna give him a shot. You're still gonna play. All right, well, let's contribute off the bench. Might get the same amount of minutes. Obviously, Nicholas Bear doesn't care whether he starts or comes off the bench. He knows he's gonna play a lot. He's gonna impact the game when he's out there.